First up, Elf Beauty. Elf Beauty, what a absolutely hated stock. Now, I love Elf Beauty. It's a beautiful stock for me because I'm up 623% on the shares I have in the public account, right? I took massive amounts of profit over the years in Elf Beauty stock, and so I love this stock. But if you bought this stock really in the past, I would say 12 months, you probably hate this stock. You probably think it's the worst stock in the creation of mankind, right? Which definitely goes to show you, when you enter a position, when you start to buy in, right, when you start to dollar cost average, it's pretty important, especially in regards to what type of stocks. Growth stocks. Because you could be paying there's people that there are people out there that bought Elf shares last year for $200 a share, right? And there are people that today paid $49 for those same exact shares, right? And then there are people like myself that bought Elf years ago for $7 a share. So you have a whole range of outcomes there, right? Now, in regards to Elf, obviously, this stock has been hammered really on the back of the whole tariff situation, right? And the 145% tariff news was just cherries on top, right? Because at the end of the day, let's imagine Elf's bringing a product made in China into the United States. It's a $3 product, right? And then you get that tariff, now suddenly it's a $7 change product, right? So it's a whole situation. And why is this negative for Elf? Well, Elf might have to go up on price substantially, right? Elf might have to take hits to their margin. Their suppliers might have to take hits, but people don't really care about that. People care about Elf taking hits to their margin, which means lower gross margins in the next few quarters, lower net margins in the next few quarters. And no one likes to own a stock where the margins are going down, right? And so that's all the situation. If you want to know why the stock's gone from 200 to 50, the first part was probably a little overvalued, a little stretched in regards to growth rates, right? And then the second part has been the whole tariff drama. Because as soon as Trump got elected, Elf stock already started to go down. And then as we got further and further into the tariff drama, the stock's gone down more and more and more, and including into the all-time lows here recently in the last week or two with 145% tariffs, right? Now, in regards to Elf, here's the deal. You could either focus on the short-term stuff. The short-term stuff is the tariffs. The tariffs could be here today, gone tomorrow. Like, if you heard the way Trump was talking today, Trump does like 16 press conferences a day, it seems like. If you heard the way Trump was talking today, he's talking like these tariffs might be done sooner rather than later. He's talking about they're going to make a great deal with China. He sounds like super optimistic in regards to working out a deal with China. Like, holy smokes, this is no joke, okay? And so that's fascinating. And so everybody gets caught up in these tariffs. Oh, 145% tariff sounds insane. A month from now, 3 months from now, this could be a whole different situation, and not even close to being the tariff rates we're talking about right now, right? And so I don't care about what Elf does for numbers this quarter and next quarter, and what their margins are this quarter, next quarter, and the tariff hits for that. And that's going to be what that's going to be, right? No different than, if you have a Rona situation or any sort of other black swan event that comes out of nowhere. It is what it is. At the end of the day, I'm focused on the long term with Elf. Where's Elf's revenue going over the next 5 years? Where's the net income going over the next 5 years? And both of those are massively higher than where they are today. And so given that Elf's revenues are going to skyrocket over the next 5 years, and their net income is going to skyrocket over the next 5 years, and their margins over the next 5 years will skyrocket, even although they might go down over the next quarter or two, right? That's what I care about. And that's going to be where Elf stock price goes over time. Now, additionally, I have something very important to show everybody in regards to Elf right here, okay? So, very important. This right here is a 173-page presentation Elf did back in February, okay? Now, for everybody in my private stock group, I shared this presentation in the Elf chat just a couple hours ago. I reshared it. I think I shared it when they did it back in February. I just reshared it because it's very important everybody looks at this, okay? So everybody in the private group that cares about this, go check that out, okay? It's a 173-page presentation the company did. Now, there's something very important they were talking about. The international markets, they're now up to a number 3 player in the UK, number 3 player in Canada, number 9 in Germany. Now, why is that important? It's not just like, well, it's obviously massive expansion for their business and going to be continued expansion, right? Now they got retail presence in 15 countries. But keep in mind, because Elf's getting bigger and bigger international, right? All this tariff drama, it doesn't affect their entire business. It affects a segment of their business, right? So that's very important for everybody to understand what I just stated right there, okay? Very, very, very important. So the international business becoming a bigger and bigger component. Now, ELF, over this next 3 to 5 years, you'll see the stock, in my opinion, go back to $200+ a share again, right? Here today, it's $52 a share, right? Earlier in the trading day was $49. And, some people are worried about, does it round trip all the way back down to the $30 to $40 level, right? Which is where it was, a few years ago. If it does, great. Like more shares to buy. Look, at the end of the day, when it comes to a company that I love for the next 5 years, what happens over the next 3 to 5 weeks means nothing to me. It means absolutely nothing. Because here's the deal. If ELF, say tariffs get removed in the next 3 to 5 weeks, or, things go really, really optimistic, and next thing you know, you see the stock trading back at $75, $95. Am I selling ELF then? No. Why would I? I believe the stock's going back to 200+. So $75 or $95 is still a steal deal. So that's where you got to separate the short-term crap that's going on right now and what's happening in the White House and the tariffs and the negotiations in China and blah, 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 and what is going on long-term. Because this stuff, here today, gone tomorrow, just like presidents are here today, gone tomorrow, and tariffs and, what countries we get along well with versus not. How would you like access to all my best course curriculums? My Becoming Master of the Stock Market course, my Stock Market Investing Mastery course, my Stock Options Mastery course, my Millionaire Playbook. How would you like access to all my best courses, as well as the ability to have access to my 6 and 7 figure plus Discord community, where we're constantly keeping in touch with each other, talking about what's going on in the market? How would you like exclusive weekly videos from me? How would you like the ability to see what stocks I'm buying and selling in my $2 million plus Fidelity account? If that all sounds pretty interesting to you, apply to join my private group. That is going to be linked in the description area down there. You can click on that, fill out an application, and go ahead, hop on a call with Andre. Andre will walk you through the whole process. He'll walk you through the whole group, and you can go ahead and join us in there. Once again, the link for that is in the description area. Number one, first reason I sold out of Tesla is it's a core business that is in decline. This is not a debate. This is not an opinion. This is factual. Tesla's core business is in decline now at this point in time. Obviously, electric vehicles have been taking off across the world, including obviously the United States, right? United States has kind of been a little bit of a lagger, but even in the United States, if we look at the latest market share data, up to 8% roughly of vehicles sold. Look at this, in 2024, the US EV market has reached an 8.1% market share. So clearly EVs, that were the future are here now, right? They're becoming a bigger and bigger thing. Now with all that, you would expect Tesla to be tearing it up, right? Well, if we look back a few years ago, Tesla had around a 75% market share in the United States when it came to electric vehicles. Now, what do you think that number is now? Well, we can fast forward a little bit, and in the latest data we have, Tesla's all the way down to 43% of the market share. There's a clear trend that Tesla's market share is eroding, and eroding pretty darn rapidly. Like if we just go back to this same period last year, we are 52% market share. Now down to 43%. If we go back to the previous year's quarter, we are 62% market share, right? So it is not just that Tesla's losing market share, it's that it's losing market share at an accelerating clip, in that we don't even know where Tesla's market share is going to end up. Where are they going to end up of EVs? 5%, 10%, 20%, like we don't know. We just know it's going lower and lower and lower. And, it's pretty dramatic. I mean, to lose another almost, 9 percentage points of market share just in the past year, no bueno, right? Now, if we look at electric vehicle sales volume change by automaker 2024 versus 2023, what you're going to find is Tesla was not just the worst, but by far and away the worst when it came to electric vehicle sales. That's huge problems. And by the way, this is 2024 numbers. This is before all the protests. So if you think has anything to do with the latest stuff, that drama about people protesting Tesla and out in front of the Tesla dealerships and blah, 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 this has nothing to do with this. We're looking at 2024 numbers right now, what I'm showing you. And so this is way before all of that. And so there's a clear trend that Tesla has major issues inside the United States of America, right? Now, the Chinese have been taking EVs more serious than anybody, than any country by a mile, right? And it's gotten to the point where in 2024, nearly 1 out of every 2 cars sold in China was an electric vehicle. EVs are a huge thing in China, and probably in the next few years, like EVs will be like nearly 100% of sales. Like they'll likely end up completely outlawing anything other than an EV essentially, right? Now, what has happened to Tesla in China? Well, now BYD has surpassed Tesla in terms of both sales and revenue now at this point in time. And honestly, that gap is going to eventually widen quite dramatically, it looks like here, right? Now, in China, the issue is like Tesla's having trouble moving product now there, but even when you do move product, there's little money to be made because the market is so competitive. Like in China, there's at least 5 to 10 serious EV competitors in China. And so when you have that many serious competitors that have very compelling products in the market, and I have friends that go to China and they'll send me photos when they're over there and whatnot, and folks in my private stock group that will send me photos, the product looks good. Like the cars on the exterior look pretty darn attractive. The software looks phenomenal that these cars have. The range looks good. And it's like there's a bunch of competitors in China. And so it's just going to get more competitive over the next few years. And so even when you do sell an EV in China, there's very, very little money to even be made over there now at this point in time, right? Now, if we look at the number of Tesla vehicles sold worldwide, right, what we're going to find is the early signs that Tesla was already starting to have some troubles was back in 2023. Because basically, Elon was thinking like production was going to go up easily like 50% a year, right? And we already started to have some troubles in 2023. But then last year, 2024, was kind of like, it's obvious now. Because volumes didn't go up that 50%. They actually went down. Vehicles delivered worldwide went down for Tesla in 2024. And that's even with all the price cuts at Tesla. Think about all the price cutting Tesla did in 2023 and going into 2024, right? Price cut after price cut. It's all we heard. And even with all those price cuts, they still had volumes be down. That's no bueno whatsoever, right? And you know, it's sad because it didn't really have to be this way in regards to Tesla sales volumes going down, right? Because Tesla's product is great, like phenomenal product. I drive all types of different cars throughout my life, have experienced them. I'll even rent cars, you know, everything from a BMW to Mercedes to just, you know, SUVs and American products. At the end of the day, like Tesla has a phenomenal product. I would, like if somebody said, even my first Tesla ever was a Model 3, from there I got a Model X, and from there I got a Model S Plaid, right? And I have nothing but good things to say about Tesla. Nothing as far as the product goes. And so it sucks that we're in this situation where, you know, sales are literally trending negative when the product is actually a very, very good product they have in the market. But it doesn't matter. And I bring it back to an example of when I was in, I think I was probably in the 8th grade, maybe the 9th grade. And for Christmas one year, my big present I got was an MP3 player, but it wasn't an iPod. It was a Sony product. And this Sony product was phenomenal. It was by far and away, in my opinion, way better than an iPod. It actually had a touch screen and everything. Like that wasn't even stuff Apple had back then. It was all like analog, right? But at the end of the day, did that Sony product ever take off? No. Even though it was a better product, no, it never took off. Apple understood the marketing game better, understood how to sell better, and obviously the rest is history, right? So it's just because you got a good product in the market doesn't mean anything. And here we are in a moment where Tesla's giving away vehicles. I mean, just giving them away, and they still can't move them. You look at a Model 3. Once again, a phenomenal product. You can say nothing bad about a Model 3. $299 a month to lease that baby with $1,000 down, and you still can't move these? Come on, man. The Model Y lease from $499. The Model Y is an amazing product, arguably the best vehicle in the world for the price point. And you can't move this thing? Like, come on, man. Like, it just should not be this way. It should not be this way at all, right? And you look at, even if you were thinking about buying a vehicle straight up, right? You get the $7,500 federal tax credit that you had for a while, and they still can't move these things. All these price cuts, all these incentives, insanely cheap prices, especially in $20, like, come on. And we still can't move this product? What is going on here, right? The moral of the story is, in regards to this first point, is Apple has a rotten core. indicates fungal infection in decay, making Apple unsafe to eat. This is Tesla, and this is investing in Tesla. When the core of the product, the core of the business is broken, you got big problems, and it's not up for debate. This isn't an opinion. This is a fact. The core of Tesla's business is rotten right now, and that's no bueno. And it's not like it just happened in the last quarter. No, it's been rotten for a while now at this point in time, which gets us into point number 2. Growing categories are about to plummet, because even if you look past the rotten core of the business, you could say there's 2 segments of Apple's business, of their 3 segments, that have been growing very rapidly. And those businesses are energy generation and storage revenue, which is this line item right here, and services and other revenue. Now, if we go back to a quarter ago, energy generation and storage revenue was up 113% year over year. Services and other revenue was up 31% year over year. Extremely strong growth. So you would look at the core of the business, which is automotive revenues, and say, well, yeah, that sucks. But at least our energy generation and storage revenues, flying to the sky, and at least services and other revenues flying to the sky, right? And if you look on a full year basis, energy generation and storage in 2024 was up 67%. Services and other revenue was up 27%. So that was great. But we got problems, folks. We have problems. So in the latest quarter, energy generation and storage revenue is now down to 67% growth. From the previous quarter was at 113% growth. And services was at 31% growth year over year, now down to 15%. That's not even the worst part. That's a huge deceleration in both of those, cut in half type numbers. That's not even the worst part. Now we have to start comping against insanely tough numbers. So if you look at energy generation and storage revenue, $3 billion it did in Q2 2024. The latest quarter we did $2.7 billion. So there's a decent probability that energy generation and storage revenue is going to start going negative or very small growth rates. Oh boy. Oh boy. Services and other revenue, right? Now we're going to have to start comping against these quarters where we are $2.6 billion, $2.7 billion, $2.8 billion of services and other revenue. Look at where we are at in this latest quarter, $2.6 billion. So the moral of the story is here, we got brutal comps coming, and the revenue growth from these 2 massive growth engines is going to slow and potentially even start going down. So then what are we going to have to go off of? Oh my gosh, right? Now you got to understand the Biden administration was extremely pro a company like Tesla, right? Through their, what they called Inflation Reduction Act, IRA, right? This was something that benefited a company like Tesla in one of the most direct ways you could possibly have, right? And all of this is going to start to come to an end over this next year or 2. All this Inflation Reduction Act related stuff, right? And if you look at Tesla's battery production tax credits under the Inflation Reduction Act could generate up to $250 million per quarter. Tesla has been a major recipient of federal infrastructure grants for building EV charging stations. Tesla's energy generation storage revenue has benefited from manufacturing credits with a total of $756 million for the year of 2024, right? Huge. Like that whole Inflation Reduction Act the Biden administration did was so beneficial to Tesla. They made so much money off of that. That's all going bye-bye, folks. That's all going bye-bye, and that's not going to be good news for Tesla. Tesla was the 3rd largest recipient of these funds since the program started, right? No bueno. Now that leads us to the biggest services opportunity. The biggest services opportunity for Tesla is seen as FSD, right? If everybody that owns a Tesla all gets FSD plans and pays $99 a month or $199 a month, right? That would be great. But from my experience with the FSD product, it's a good product, but it's not perfect, and it's more annoying than just driving your own vehicle, is what I found. You have to stay on top of it more. It does a lot of annoying things where it doesn't drive human enough, I would call it. And it's not a great experience. It's a okay or good experience. It's the type of thing that if I lived in LA and I had to drive to work an hour each day, it would be worth getting FSD. But outside of somebody that's in stop and go traffic all the time, I don't see it being worth it. And so that big services opportunity, is unfortunately just the product's not good enough to at the end of the day, everybody say, I'm going to go buy this. And you got to understand, even when it's really a great product and it's not just good, even when it's great, a lot of people are still not going to want it because it's going to be an extra $99 a month or $199 a month. And a lot of people just like driving at the end of the day. And so that's a whole situation we got to deal with, right? So the only question is now with these growing categories that have been the growth engines of Tesla is how bad are growth rates going to get over this next year? Are we going to be talking about energy business going negative? Or are we going to be talking about single digit growth? People are used to 100% type growth rates. Now we could be talking about 5%, 10% growth, negative numbers, services revenue. People were used to 30% revenue up on a year over year basis. And now we could be talking about that services and other revenue might be up like 5%, 10%. Oh my gosh, what happens if it goes negative? Then what do you have to go off of, right? Insane. So to recap so far, off just these 2 points, we have a rotten core business and the exciting growth business is about to be no bueno. We got problems, big problems, folks. Number 3, it's a business without a purpose. And that is usually not a very good thing, especially for a company like Tesla that has a massive valuation, a business without a purpose. So if we go back 10, 15 years ago, Tesla's like mission, like what are they here for, right? What is their purpose? What are they going after? It was very clear to transition the world to sustainable energy. We're going to save the planet. That was Tesla's pitch. And even when I was investing in the stock back in 2019, it was very clear that's what Elon was trying to do. And he would even say that. We're trying to transition the world to sustainable energy. We're trying to save the planet, right? It's like this big mission we're going after, right? That mission is dead. It's done for. Once Elon started to move more and more to the right into the Republican Party, we know the Republican Party does not take climate change or any of this stuff or sustainable. They don't take any of this stuff serious. We know that, right? And so once you start to align yourself with the right, your whole mission of what you were trying to do is now out the window. So now you have no mission, right? And me personally, I would say 80% of the people I know for voted Trump, right? Like I know a lot of people that are business owners, a lot of people with money. And I know like the media might try to like pitch things as like, oh, the left is the people with the money. No. Trust me. Like the people that I all know in real life that have money, they vote right. Okay. And so they vote Trump. They lean right, right? 80% of the people I know. Of that 80%, I would say at least half, because I talked with these folks, like what their opinion is on this and this and this. I would say at least half of those folks believe climate change is a hoax. A hoax. As in it's not real. They believe that fossil fuels are not bad. And you could burn all the oil you want and all the coal you want and nothing bad's going to happen. And that's a massive segment of the right. So it's clear as day, like that whole mission Tesla used to go after 5, 10, 15 years ago, it's dead. It's done for now at this point in time, right? So where does your mission go from here if you're Tesla? Well, you can say, well, we want to be Uber, but without the driver inside, okay? Is that passionate of a mission to replace Uber with no driver? Like you're going from we're saving the planet, we're saving this beautiful thing that is Earth, that humanity has, to we want to replace Uber without a driver. Come on, man. You think that's a mission to go after? Like, what are we talking about here, right? I mean, what a step down. Like, we're going to save the planet we want to be Uber? Come on. You say, well, we want to be an AI company. That's going to be our big mission. We want to be an AI company. You and everybody else. Who doesn't want to be an AI company? Every freaking big tech company wants to be an AI company. Every single one of them's pitching, we're investing all this money, we're AI. That's not some big mission to go after. Come on, man. Everybody's going to be an AI company, right? You say, we're going to make robots so you don't have to hire landscapers. You can fire your landscapers, right? That's not a great mission to go after. Come on. I'm going to make robots so I can fire my landscapers and fire my pool man and, you can fire your house cleaner and all that stuff, right? And plus, we know how this ends. You ever seen iRobot? We know how this movie ends. It's not pretty, right? It's not pretty how it ends. Come on, man. But by the way, I can't wait to fire my 10-year-old because, I don't think he's been doing a very good job of cleaning my fountain in the front yard. And I can't wait to tell him, hey, Our robot's here to replace you, boy. You lost your job, right? And by the way, all you guys that are rooting for these robots and you're like so happy Tesla's going to be making these robots someday, which probably isn't going to be till the 2030s, by the way. It's not happening anytime soon. But you're so thrilled about this. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to fire all these people. I can't wait to the robots take over. Listen, man, all I hear is complaints constantly from men that they can't get a freaking date. They're on these dating apps. They can't get a date, right? Dude, you think it's bad now? Just wait till the robots are here. Wait till the robots are here. Oh my gosh. You think it's hard getting a date now? Just wait till the robots. They're going to beat up everybody. Women aren't going to need any protection from man anymore. The robot's going to handle that. Plus, they're going to not get tired in bed after 2 minutes, like you guys that need a jelly roll after 2 minutes, okay? Give me a chili dog. I'm tired. I need a chili dog, baby. Sorry about this. Fourth point here. All our best customers hate us now. They all freaking hate Tesla. All our best customers. When you think about, like, why is Tesla at $800 billion market cap, right? Why has Tesla had all this success? It's from three groups of people. Liberals, Europeans, and Chinese. If you look at who actually buys Teslas and who supported Elon and supported the brand all these years, liberals, Europeans, and Chinese. That's not a debate. That's a fact, right? And now the liberals hate Tesla with a passion because of all the stuff Elon's tweeted over the past number of years and all the stuff and all his sentiment and negativity toward liberals. Liberals, dude, like they have like the worst opinion of Elon Musk. And it used to be they were the biggest backers. It's flipped 100% now. The Europeans used to love Elon. They used to love Tesla. Boom, that's out the window. And the Chinese, because of now Elon Musk, basically connection with Trump and how those two are kind of tied. Now with all this negativity at China, oh my gosh, big problems, right? Now you think about some of the situations that have happened over the years that really hurt a brand and hurt a company or business or whatever, right? The Colin Kaepernick situation was very negative for the NFL over that next several years. And, I feel like the NFL's kind of moved past that now, but it was an overhang on the NFL because of, how some people felt that they boycotted the NFL for years. I don't want to watch the NFL because of the Colin Kaepernick situation, right? Bud Light, now look at Bud Light sales numbers over the past year or so. Awful, very big negative thing that happened in regards to Bud Light. Target wanted to sell some items that, some people weren't too fond of, and it hurt Target sales massively, right? Let me be very clear. Those situations were child's play in regards to their brands compared to what Elon Musk has done to the Tesla brand now at this point in time. Like this is like a nuke compared to like a little BB in terms of these other situations. These were like the warm-ups, and Elon Musk has shown us like, here's how to absolutely devastate your brand, right? Absolutely incredible. Now, if you look at the Tesla sales drop in Europe, it's dramatic. It's dramatic. Country by country, you just go through it, man. And keep in mind, next quarter is going to likely be even worse in regards to this. And if you think this is some quick fix that like Tesla's going to magically, be able to fix this, or Elon Musk is going to be able to magically fix his brand, and all of a sudden the liberals are all going to love Tesla again, and all the Europeans are going to love Tesla again, and the Chinese, dude, it's going to take years to rebuild the brand. This is not going to be just forgotten. The Europeans are not just going to forget about all this stuff that's happened. The liberals are not just going to forget about all this stuff that's happened. The Chinese are not just going to forget about. It's going to take 5-10 years to recover the brand, if that even happens. And there's no guarantee that that's even going to happen, by the way. But this is going to be like, it's just going to magically, happen. And if you think like all the conservatives are all going to trade in their F-150s and their Silverados to go drive a Cybertruck around, I got news for you. That ain't happening.